Hi Cancers, it is Adair Danielle with Chaos Tarot, and I'm going to be doing your October mid-months from the 15th to the 31st of 2018. Thank you so much for your support. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Be alerted. I do weeklies, I do monthlies, I do mid-months, so I really would like y'all to be on top of stuff as this channel grows. But for those of you who are already subscribed, thank you so much. Words cannot express how happy and how much gratitude I have to you guys. And for those people who are new, I really hope that these messages resonate with you. Again, if they don't, I'm so sorry. Because it's a general reading, all messages aren't going to resonate with everyone. But if you find a message that speaks to you, please don't be afraid to let me know in the comment section below and share your experiences. You know, I love to read the comments and interact, you know, so please keep it up, guys. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get into your reading. Okay. Cancer. Cancer. 31st. Cancer. I will say, for some of you guys, there are messages coming in because I kept seeing I saw the Eight of Swords, the Knight of, I kept seeing the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, so that indicates that, you will be receiving communication, from somebody, so just be aware of that, okay? So the underlying energy that we have this month for you is the Four of Swords. The heart of the month we have is the Six, or is that 7? Sorry, the Seven of Wands. We have the Six of Cups in the past. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the present. We move to the 10 of Wands in the most likely outcome. And then we have the Page of Wands as a card of advice. So that's a card of action. So it seems like with the Four of Swords here, to kind of to bookend with the Page of Wands, it seems like right now the underlying energy is taking some time to yourself, reflecting, really going inward, really getting into that shell. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the advice is to act, you know, especially if you have a creative project or a passion project that you want to work on. If there's something in the beginning phases of that, then, you know, try to put the work into that. It's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm going to clarify some of these cards, but I remember your October was you were sharp, you know, that was the name of it. You were sharp. You were kind of keeping your guard up and holding up your defenses, and that still seems to be the case here with the Seven of Wands being here. You know, this is a card that is fighting and really staying guarded against the forces that be. So I'm going to go into the reading and really clarify what that means, why you're so on edge, you know, I guess maybe not on edge, but why you're so defensive or feel the need to defend yourself. What are you defending? You know, Cancer, what are you fighting for? And maybe you don't know, okay? Maybe you really don't know, but it seems like there's a burden, a stress, maybe from the past, okay? Ooh-wee. Okay. That was fast. Let's go one more time. This one. Just 6 of Cups here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. So, I got a much clearer picture of what's going on. So, the reason why we Cancers, because I'm a Cancer rising, so I'm going to throw myself into the pot. It seems like we're defending ourselves because there's a lot happening. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made. There's a lot of choices and not particularly sure how to move forward. It seems like in the past we really some of us might have put all of our eggs into one basket. Is kind of what I'm imagining. Some of us put all of our eggs into one basket. We're waiting to see the return, and right now it's very confusing as what's happening. And so people might be asking questions, and you as a Cancer, I know it's going to work out. I know it's going to come together, people are asking questions. People are like, what are you doing with your time? Like, why are you not moving? And you're just kind of constantly defending yourself because you have all these options ahead of you, but you're not exactly sure what to do. Some of the options you're turning your back on, but other ones you're just kind of staring at in kind of awe and being like, what is it that I'm supposed to do? Why is all this presenting myself? Am I dealing with a demon, right? Am I dealing with a snake? You know, it's that type of energy that's just like taking defense so you can defend yourself from all those options that are coming in, because choices can be difficult for Cancers, which might be why you're retreating into yourself. In the past foundation, I'm really sensing the Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It's from the past. But the cards that are associated with it, in this particular reading, we have the King of Swords. And so this is somebody who could be cutting people off. He knows, could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. Somebody very, very quick with their words, quick to cut off, very detached, can kind of be emotionalist. And I feel like somebody is kind of ignoring your emotions, and you might be defending yourself against that. Like if you're going through something spiritual and you're trying to articulate this to somebody else, they're not understanding what you're saying, so you kind of turned your back onto it. And you feel like you're kind of in this state of non-movement, like you're not really making any progress. In the past, like you felt like you weren't making any progress with this Hangman here. Could be dealing with a Pisces, but it just seems like you're really just taking some time and not necessarily enjoying your shell, but you're in it. You're in your shell, and you're not necessarily in a rush to get out to deal with all of this that's floating around your head. You're just like, I'm just trying to chill. I'm trying to defend myself. I'm trying to wait for this work that I put in to show up. I don't have time for questions. I don't have time to be pestered. Is that a word? I don't have time. I just don't have time for it. Like, I don't have time for energy that's not working for me. You know, if you're not with me, then you're against me. It's kind of like the energy that I'm getting. And it seems like some people have definitely been against you. Some people have definitely had some shit to say about what it is that you're doing, you know, about the work that you're putting in. Could be dealing with toxic energies, could be dealing with a Capricorn. But I'm just sensing that, especially when it comes to your workload, there are people who are jealous of the progress that you're making because you've had to take a step outside with this creative project that you're working on. You have to take a step back and really remove yourself from some of your friendship circles, remove yourself from some people from your past, and distance yourself because they were holding you back. They were chaining you to past ideas, and they weren't moving forward with you, kind of leaving you in this state of leaving you in this state of, I want to say non-motion. Why are my words escaping me? But like you're moving where you're just not moving. Okay, you're not moving, and so it seems like you cut out toxic energies. You cut out people who make you feel like dirt, who don't understand what it is that you're doing. You just do not have time to explain. It's basically what I'm seeing. It's like you don't have time to explain, and you really don't have time to defend. You will defend it if somebody comes at you left. Like if somebody sends for you, then you will check them. But you're really just trying to keep it low and mind your own business and really put your nose to the grindstone. You know, I love when the cards just like fill in the gap. It's just like really put your nose to the grindstone and focus on whatever it is that you're focusing on. This could be you. You could be focusing on getting your shit together for you, not for anyone else. And if anybody has some shit to say about it, then they can, check you at the door. It's kind of how I'm feeling, which goes back into that sharpness. It's just like, you're not one for the bullshit. What was that? Miss me with that bullshit. Like, that's kind of how I'm feeling with this Cancer energy, with this Cancerian energy right here. And again, we have the Nine of Wands here, and this is like, you've been beat, you've been battered, but you're still up for the fight. Like, your claws are still sharp. Like, I can't get over that, I really, really can't get over that. It's just like, you're really not going to let people come at you any kind of way for what you're doing, okay? And it might even feel like a burden. It might feel like a struggle. You've committed to something. You're trying to put your work in. If you do, when I see this card, I always say, if you do trust people to help you, then phone a friend so you're not carrying this load alone. But sometimes it's truly worth carrying this load alone because you get to be the one to reap the benefits of it. I think that what you're working on, especially if it has to do with finances or a creative project, will lead to some financial success. but it's going to be a lot work, maybe even a lot more work than you think it is, because I think it's going to take off. So let's say that you started an Etsy store and like you're working on it, you're doing, that's kind of what you're focusing on. I was like, if it takes off, it's going to become more than you expected it to be. The burden of it, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't realize I was going to have so many orders coming in so quickly, and how do I keep up with the demand? And it'll be those type of issues. I'm picturing that type of burden. So kind of like a positive burden, but with this Page of Wands here, this is acting on a passion, on like a creative endeavor. So something like really, really cool. Is kind of like what I'm seeing. A lot of you, this has to do with some creative, passion projects, okay? So maybe people are looking at you with their opinions. Where's he at? People are looking at you with their opinions and their words, and they're just like, I don't understand what you're doing. It doesn't click to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And you're like, it doesn't have to make sense to you because it's a passion project. I remember the few episodes that I saw of the Kardashians. It was Kourtney. Kourtney was complaining to Kim, and Kim responded with, well, maybe if you had some passion, or maybe if you had some drive, then you would understand what it would be like to like have a workload. And I, as much as I like, feel about the Kardashians, I respected Kim and so much in that moment, because you're just like, if you had a passion, if you had a drive, if you had some stuff that you wanted to do, if you're actually working towards a goal, then you will understand why I don't have time for your shenanigans. Then you will understand why I'm telling you to the left. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, that is kind of the energy that I'm getting, and it goes with that sharpness. It just seems like people are just not understanding your way. People are really not with you, and it doesn't matter because you're focused, you're determined, and you're gonna get going. Keep moving, keep acting, even if it's in the little beginning stages. This could be something that could turn out to be something if you put in that energy. The energy that you put in, the universe will always greet you. It will always meet you halfway. It might take some time, you might not see it, but eventually it will come through. So if you feel like you're in this 3 of Wands moment where you're just looking and you're waiting for your ships to come in, you've done the best that you can do, you package it up, and you're just seeing what's going to return. It can take some time, but the ships do come back. They will return, okay? Just kind of hang in there. Boom, with the Hangman. Just hang in there. As long as you can. Just keep doing what you're doing. And all those toxic energies from the past, this could be, for some of you, it's a paternal figure, because I saw the Emperor and the King of Wands, or like a male specifically. I'm picturing a lot of male energy that's coming in and kind of having some shit to say, or just outward expression. Like, I don't think that this is anything that's happening behind your back necessarily. Like, the criticism is to your face. Like, people are just like, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. And you're like, it's not for you to understand. It's kind of what I'm getting. But that type of energy where you constantly have to justify your actions, you constantly have to explain yourself, it seems like you're kind of doing your duty and cutting it out. And letting that devil toxic energy, letting it go. And moving forward. And defending yourself. And working hard. And taking on that burden. Committing to that passion project. Really working on it. So if that's for you, if this message is for you, keep doing what you're doing. Stay sharp, Stay sharp, Cancers. Cancers. Oops, Cancers. Libra, and we are in Libra season. So this is a card of balance. Capricorn. Okay, some of you are dealing with a Capricorn. Some of you, or you know what? Actually, because Capricorn's popped up twice in this reading. Here, I'm going to put this last thing, Uranus, which is progress and moving forward. Okay, so with the Libra card being here, this is balance. With some of you, this Capricorn energy is within yourself, because we have Libra, Cancer, the direct opposite of Cancer is Capricorn, okay? So karmically, we're trying to reach an equilibrium, okay? So you're trying to reconcile your feelings with practicality. It's kind of what I'm seeing, and this is the time to do it. You are exalted. So with this Capricorn energy, it's just like you are really finding, look at this, look at these little horns. Sexy Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? But like, A lot of you are dealing with this Capricornian energy because it's trying to bring you to a state of equilibrium and balance within Libra season. So, but the thing about Capricorns, and the thing that, you know, I can appreciate about Capricorns, even though they can be difficult in some senses, it's because, and their difficulty lies in they are so practical and so realistic that they are the ones to kind of cut out emotions. And Cancers, Pisces, Scorpios really function within emotion, and that is where we find our power. And Capricorns tend to make it a point to negate and ignore in order to get done what has to be done, which can be a positive thing, to be able to put your emotions aside and actually put your nose to the grindstone and really get going. So that could be the energies that are asking you to do that. Now, because it is opposite, the other storyline is what I was saying earlier. It can be a very toxic energy because it's not what you need at the time. So this message is really going to be for you, just like all messages, but it's really going to be for you to determine what that is. Is this something that you need to reconcile within yourself, learning how to balance your emotions with the real world? Or is this something that you need to reconcile with the world and be like, look, if we are on the same page, then I have to go it out. I have to cut it out in order to reach equilibrium in this Libra season. In order to be balanced, what are the actions that you need to take in order to see the progress with this Uranus card? Some of you are definitely dealing with an Aquarius. Okay? Some of you are definitely dealing with an Aquarius. But Uranus is progress. This is out there. This is thought. This is some otherworldly shit. Like, people don't even know what you're on is really what I'm seeing. This is like free spirit, offbeat, eccentric. That's what I'm saying. There's some things that you're working on. There's some things that you're seeing. There's some things that you're talking about. It could be a relationship with another people where you're seeing some stuff that just the people around you are just unable to see. And that is not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing, but you have to be aware that your judgment is the best judgment. Just like it says in the description. Your judgment is the best judgment. People are going to offer you advice. You have to know what advice to take and what not to take. Especially when you're trying to be a revolutionary. Uranus also has to do with philanthropy and charity and humanitarian work, with which Cancers are obviously, you know, what's the word? It's innate to do that. So if you're also thinking about helping other people or starting a nonprofit, some of you are starting a nonprofit. Some of you guys are really trying to start a business that has some really philanthropic and kind of humanitarian elements to it, and it seems like it's been an uphill battle. But I think that this Ten of Wands, this completion of it, it is burden. It is, but it's a success. It's a burden. It's the burden of success, if that makes sense. It's kind of what I'm seeing as the most likely outcome. I'm gonna pull one more card from this deck. However many fly out. Sometimes I say one card and like 3 cards will fly out. So we'll see. Abundance. Okay? See, that's what I'm saying. Abundance. You have the energy that you need. You have the wherewithal that you have to need. You have it tenfold. And this abundance right here, this burden that you're feeling, I really feel is like the burden of success for some of you. But you will be greeted tenfold if you cut out those toxic energies from the past and some of your toxic thoughts. If it is within, that is always a possibility. That is it's a battle that's taking place within yourself. But do not be afraid to embark. Do not be afraid to, you know, take from the tree of life. Give because you have it. It's been provided for you. All you're doing is claiming, you know, it's my money and I want it now. That is kind of how I feel about whatever this project is that you're working on. It's your money and you want it now and you're there to claim. You're like, run me my shmoney is kind of how I feel. Maybe that'll be the name of the video, but like, that's how I feel. And like anybody who's not with you at this moment in time, who's not serving you, it really seems like you're really taking a step back and removing yourself from those energies, going inward, you know, looking at yourself, looking at your situation, reflecting, and really putting your energy into your craft. You're focused, you're determined, and you just do not have time for a whole bunch of like birds. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, one saying that my friend always says is just like, I don't bark. You know, like, I don't bark. So if you're talking to people who are barking back at you, you don't bark, you don't speak dog. You don't speak dog. So like, how are you going to communicate? You don't speak pigeon. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not mean, but it's just like, you know, if you don't understand what I'm saying and I'm not speaking to you on a level that you understand, I'm sorry. I don't bark. What do you expect me to do? You know, that's how I feel, Cancers. That's just how I feel. Like I said, I'm a Cancer rising, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. But, ooh. Hello? All right. Bye, Cancers. My cousin was coming in the door. I was like, okay. Bye, guys.